We have kind of the leading edge there of the storm moving through. You can see that rain foot getting kicked back up there on the sky view. And again, folks, we're looking straight into this storm, and it's moving this way. It's moving right towards the city of Lubbock. So again, this is a live look from the Overton Hotel, the Pecan Grill Hotel. You can see that there back over the Jones. That is continuing to move back to the east into our area this evening.
Had a report of 1-inch hail by the public. That was at 6:45, so a little less than 15 minutes ago. That was 3 miles north of Morton in Cochran County.
Okay, so we have another storm on the back side of this one, northeast of Morton. You can see that one right there. This area has just been hit time and time again today with some heavy rain and these severe storms that are going on out there.
They just updated the warning. They're actually bumping the hail size up to golf ball on that storm.
So northeast of Morton, this is going to be moving back up near Pettit Pep, Oklahoma Flat, Wood Harrell area. This general region right in here is the one that we are focusing on. But this particular storm that's moving through, continuing to move through Hockley County. Notice it's still just taking its same trajectory to the east-southeast towards the city of Lubbock. So we'll bring it back here, kind of circle where the main hail core was, right in this general area. As we draw it out over the past hour or so, you can see there's not as much of the black that is popping up. But folks, the fact that we still have some black and some purple popping up lets us know that this storm is still very significant. Chris, you got some updates?
Well, this is in between you and me, just an update here.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so continuing to get some storm reports in from in and around the field of the continuation of the severe storms that we've had across the region tonight. So working to confirm some of those reports with the National Weather Service right now. But as we take a look at this, you can see we're going to track this out for you, continuing to track that off to the east-southeast. That brings it right through the Lubbock Metro, folks. This is a significant storm that is headed our way here to the hub city. Within the next hour, we will continue to see or start to see more of those impacts out of this. I know we're covering up some kind of programming right now. If you're upset about that, our neighbors' lives are going to be more important. Their safety is more important than whatever program that we have on the air this evening. So that's why we're on the air right now. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, too, that you don't always see on your screen that we work to confirm with our partners at the National Weather Service, too, to make sure in terms of these types of storm reports that we're seeing, that everybody's getting the accurate information that they need in order to stay safe through these storms. But again, Lubbock, that brings us into storm arrival time downtown, 7:39 p.m., 7:45 p.m. And real quickly, if you're listening, Lubbock County, get your cars covered. If you live in the city of Lubbock, get your cars covered. Get off the road. Do not park underneath overpasses here in the metro area. All that does is make you a distraction, makes you someone who is obscuring traffic, impeding traffic, and it's very, very dangerous. Not only does it put your life at risk, it puts our local first responders' lives at risk. We've got time in the city of Lubbock to get off the streets. If you know someone that's in Lubbock that's out and about running errands, call them and tell them to get their tails home, because this storm is moving in. It is still capable of 3-inch in diameter size hail. That's larger than baseball size. In between baseball and softball size, we've had a history of 5-inch in diameter size hail. Chris, real quickly on links 2, I want you to focus on the storm in Hockley County, if you don't mind, and pull up the Barron button. We'll pull that up again. Once Chris has that up, we'll go ahead and go on over to link system number 2.
Yeah, I've got it up, but let me point out something. The warning just expired. They're about to reissue this here because it's 7 o'clock. The warning just went out.
Gotcha. So the warning is expired. Still an active, ongoing severe storm moving into Smyre right now. But you see that area in white?
Okay, there's the new warning.
Still got that popping up. So that new warning will plot on the map in just a second. But these areas in white near Smyre right now, as it's continuing to track east-southeast, Lubbock County, Lubbock, Texas, the city of Lubbock now, you're included in this new severe thunderstorm warning.
Yes.
3-inch in diameter size hail still ongoing with this. Chris, what are the parameters that they did warn us for?
They are warning for tennis ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts at 7 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm 7 miles east of Levelland, moving east at 30 miles per hour. So that's basically moving down Highway 114 right into the metro Lubbock area.
Okay, so Lubbock, that's why we're still on the air this evening. New warning now out for Lubbock County. We have this storm moving in that has had a history of 5-inch in diameter size hail, which, by the way, ties the record, if confirmed, for the largest hailstone reported in our viewing area. So again, a very significant storm going on. That's why we're still on the air talking about it. Let's hop back to link system number 1 real quick. We've got that expected arrival time in the city of Lubbock. You can see some of the impacted communities, neighborhoods on your screen. Smire is moving in now. Let's go back to our storm chaser DG, who is out, and he is in the thick of it right now. The storm, sometimes he gets to chase the storm, sometimes the storms chase him, and that's what it looks like they're going to do this evening, is kind of chase him back into Lubbock along 114. He's out ahead of this. And we're going to try to check in with him here in a second if we can. A programming note to our director, our producers in the booth. If we can check in with DG at any point in time to maybe talk with him, see what he's actually seeing on the ground, that would be phenomenal.
Jacob, let me point out, I
Chris.
should have mentioned that new warning for the Lubbock metro area is till 7:45.
Okay, so let's go back to link system number 2. Chris, do you have it pulled up?
Yes.
Okay, go back to link system number 2. There's that warning again. City of Lubbock, you're included in this. Areas along and west of Interstate 27. If you have a Lubbock zip code, you live west of I-27, you're included in this warning for tennis ball size hail. That's 2.5 inches in diameter and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So you need to be in your safe place if you live in these areas, especially off the road, due to the possibility of that very large hail. Also some gusty winds. Safe place again, going to be somewhere in the middle of your home, away from the outside walls and windows. So let's go back over to Kyle's feed. He is out in this as well. Looks like he's able to stay a little bit more ahead of it as he's heading back towards Lubbock. But what we're seeing is the leading edge of this storm make its way here into the Lubbock metro area. The current time is 7:03. We are cutting into programming this evening because if you're caught outside in this storm, this is a life-threatening situation for you. We have very large hail that is moving through Hockley County. It's about to cross over the Hockley and Lubbock County line. It is in the city of Smire right now. We're continuing to see that very large hail there. So let's clear this track off. We'll get a new track, but also these areas that just got hit, back behind you, we have another severe thunderstorm warning that is going on there as well. So this is going to be impacting places like Pettit, Oklahoma Flat, Looms Chapel, down towards Whit Harold, Littlefield. You're technically included in the warning, but I think that it will stay just to your south. We have some video coming in too on the north side of Levelland. It looks like it snowed because that's how much hail that they have on the ground. So this will be moving into our area shortly.
Okay, got a report now 3 miles northeast of Morton with the storm behind this storm. We had a report of an egg-size hail. That's 2.5 inch diameter.
And that's
hail.
the one that we're zoomed in on link system 1 right now. That's what you're looking at on your screen at home right now. So we'll swap back over to the Barron button real quick.
Okay.
And we'll show you that one. You can see not as significant of a hail core with it, but it is still estimating 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter size hail could be continuing with that storm. As we go back to our south and east, though, we still have those areas of white popping up, indicating that we do have 3-inch plus diameter size hail that's moving through. And again, our Barron button has not let us down once this evening. Even before we had the reports of those 5-inch in diameter size hailstones popping up out across Hockley County, our Barron button exclusive here to KLBK was able to determine that, able to pick that up and kind of broadcast that out for us to be able to better serve you, our viewers, about what's heading our way. So again, that's what we're looking at right now. 3-inch size hailstone, and there it goes again, Chris. The latest update now has really blown that hail core back up.
Yeah, we had a report of teacup-size hail. That's
it's about 3 inches or so.
3 inches
in diameter. Yeah. Where did that come in around? Do you know?
Give me 1 second. I apologize. My computer's locking up on me over here, so bear with me, folks. That was 3 miles west-northwest of Levelland. Stormchaser reported teacup-size. Okay, that was a little bit earlier. I apologize. Gotcha. That was back at 6:39.
But still just north of, or in Levelland, east of Levelland, we did have some reports come in of 2-inch in diameter size hail. So again, that's with the severe thunderstorm warning that is headed right for the city of Lubbock. You can really see these areas in black. That's where we have the highest likelihood of seeing that large hail. So let's go ahead and put a new track on it, folks. Again, going to draw it out just a little bit ahead of the line because his radar image is almost about 5 minutes old or so. And if you live on the south side of Lubbock, it looks like most of the Lubbock metro is going to get hit by this storm. But the south side looks like they will have the most significant impacts out of this as it moves through over the next hour or so.
Storm behind it 3 miles northeast of Morton. As of 7:03, we had a report of baseball-sized hail.
Okay, so another big baseball-sized hailstorm is starting to move in right behind this track of the storm that's going to be moving on to the east and down to the southeast. So this is the active warning moving into Lubbock. There's the updated scan, continuing to see that hail core pretty prominent. When you see all of that black that's popping up here, folks, that's breaking our scale in terms of what we're actually able to measure in terms of the maximum being with this severe storm. So you can see our scale here, our legend on the top right side of the screen goes up to about purple, and we've got black popping up here east and southeast of Smyre. So again, going off the charts with this storm, moving east-southeast. This is 114th right here, which eventually turns into 19th Street in Lubbock. So once this storm gets to the loop, essentially everyone the south of Highway 84 and south of 19th Street going to have definitely the highest likelihood of seeing the significantly sized hail. Let's head on out to one of our photojournalists, Pedro Figueroa, who is out near the Marshall Sharp Freeway looking back to the west, and there it is, folks. There's the storm that's going to be moving into our area. This is along Marshall Sharp Freeway, pretty close over to Milwaukee, looking back to the west and northwest. You can kind of see that. Got some ongoing lightning from cloud to ground going on out there as well. So we're going to continue to track this storm very closely. But let's go back over to link system number 1. Here in a minute, we'll check back in with Kyle and with DG as well. But this is where the storm is tracking back to the east and southeast. KLBK, we're at South Loop 289 and University Avenue, has us an arrival time right around 7:40. So the storm's staying pretty on track with what we've been looking at this evening. Lubbock, again, we have given you plenty of time, plenty of heads up to call your loved ones who may be out and about in the town to get their cars off of the road. Chris, what do you have?
We were talking about this earlier. We have what we call a wake low. Again, that's an area of high wind that develops behind an area of rain. The northern half of the area, Olton over to Plainview and now Aiken, we've had reports anywhere between 70 and 80 mile per hour wind gusts. In fact, we just had a wind gust. This was at 6:55 of the Texas Tech Mezzanest site there that is in Aiken, reported a 77 mile per hour wind gust. And I know earlier we had a report, I believe it was 80 in Plainview or possibly Olton.
Yeah, so this general area, we'll pull it up really quick, is what Chris is talking about. So we have a big damaging wind event that is setting up behind this line of storm. So in this general area, we've had 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gust.
And there's no thunderstorms there, as Jacob's showing.
So, yeah, as you can tell on this map, we have nothing going on right now. There's no storms, not even any rain going on in this area. So we're not even able to get kind of our velocity scan to show us what is going on with the winds on this.
Keep in mind, we had storms earlier that moved through here, and we call these in meteorology, we call them wake lows because they develop in the wake of storms that have moved through already.
Right, but what's happening is that there's a significant pressure drop behind these storms, and when that happens, that decrease in pressure makes a larger gradient, and that causes those winds to really increase. So watching that to the north as well, but again, up to tennis to baseball size hail, possibly moving in with a storm near Morton area. Once again, warning for you near Pettit, Wood Harrell, Looms Chapel, Littlefield, Oklahoma Flat there through 7:30 p.m. And then back here throughout Hockley and Lubbock County, 7:45 p.m., including the city of Lubbock for that very large hail. Now, again, this big area of black, this is just, Chris, this is what we don't want to see. This right here, that big area of black is our main hail core. And as we track that through, you can see that making its way to the east, more southeast, and it takes more of an easterly jog. So the general track is to where this particular portion is going to be headed is right down this general area, and that's going to bring it right over our studio here. Those times on the screen aren't accurate just yet. Let me track this out for you. But there we go. KLBK 7:41 p.m. Wolforth 7:26 p.m. Spur 3:27. It looks like about 7:30. It moves through there. South Plains Mall around 7:30 time frame as well. But you can kind of see the general area. It's going to be taken even towards Woodrow, the Burris area, Posey, between Slayton and Lubbock could eventually be impacted by this as well. But that is the main line of this storm. The current time is now 7:11 here on our Tuesday evening. Today is Tuesday, May 28th. We've been talking about our severe weather potential over the past couple of days, and it is unfortunately living up to the expectation that we have had around the region.
Jacob, that storm is moving really slow. It's already moved through Hockley County. We got another storm behind it. Because of that, we got a flood advisory that's just been issued for Hockley County.
Okay, awesome.
That'll go
not awesome, but thank you for that.
That'll go till 8:30.
Okay, so flood advisory coming through. Nice to have the moisture, but again, it's coming all too much at one time. So we're beginning to see kind of these impacts out of this. There were some reports earlier on the north side of Levelland, very strong winds that happened right whenever the hail was kicking in and everything like that. So working to confirm with the National Weather Service whether or not there was any damage as a result of the wind there too.
There was a report earlier. You and I were looking at it. People thought they may have seen a tornado. They may have seen, you know, a gustnado or something out there, but
you know, the dust foot, the rain foot that we were talking about.
We haven't had anything confirmed by the National Weather Service, but
something we're keeping a very close eye on, though. But looking at the radar, there wasn't really any kind of telltale sign that we did have anything that would support those rotating winds. So I don't think that we did have a tornado, but definitely some gusty winds are possible with this storm as well. Let's head back out to our storm chasers. Kyle is still booking it back to Lubbock, trying to get ahead of the storm as it moves in to town. Let's head out to Kyle's feed really quick. Take a look at what he's seeing right now. Making its way back into Lubbock. Looks like he's kind of in the line of the storm chasers as they're making their way back into the metro. Looks like he may be coming in from the north. On the far left side of his screen there, you can see one of the old cotton gins, one of the cotton elevators that is located on the north side of town. Looks like he could be coming back down. I don't believe it's not Highway 84, but he's making its way back into the metro area because on the far left side of your screen, he's looking at North Lubbock. Let's head on back out to DG. He's kind of following the storm along because he's got hail. If you can see it there, bouncing off of his car. Some of it down there in the ditch too. Looks to be just pea-sized right now. Nothing of severe caliber, but it is something that we're watching closely there as he's kind of seeing that hail start to bounce off of the hood of his vehicle. Let's head back out to our photojournalist, Pedro Figueroa. He is out on Marsh's Sharp. This is a live look in West Lubbock, looking back into the storm. He's out. That's Water Rampage there that he's looking at. Looks like he might be in the parking lot there of the new gas station at the corner of Milwaukee and the Marsh's Sharp Freeway. I believe it's a Toot and Totem out there at the corner by the corner of Milwaukee and Marsh Sharp. Let's head on over to Links 2. That's where we'll take a look at our Overton Hotel West camera real quick. This is looking back into this storm as well from Texas Tech University. You can see the Jones there. This is the Overton Hotel looking back into this monstrous hailstorm that we're still dealing with here in eastern Hockley County.
Yeah, let's talk about something you and I were discussing a little bit earlier. In case you're wondering, usually when we have these nasty storms, you'll get an alert on your phone from the National Weather Service. The reason it hasn't went off is because the criteria is baseball size hail or larger. That's 3.75. Now, it doesn't matter if it's baseball size or it's tennis ball size. You got that large hail coming through the metro area, it's going to do a lot of damage.
Right, so you're not going to have those, but if you have the Everything Lubbock weather app that is downloaded on your phone, you will receive these alerts, these warning notifications as they're coming through on your phone. And we've actually had the capabilities of going in ourselves and sending out those alerts even before the warnings are issued here from KLBK. So let's go back to link system number 1. We're going to give you an update as to what it's looking like out there right now. This is the large hailstorm that's continuing to head our way. It will be making its way into Wolforth at 7:23 p.m., LCU 7:30, KLBK about 7:39, Slayton about 8:13. So we've knocked a couple of minutes off here. The storm moving about somewhere between 25 to 30 miles per hour. But again, if you're out there looking at it, it's moving in. You need to head into your safe place because we've got a lot of lightning going on with this as well. Let's head back on out to Kyle, or not Kyle, DG. He's got some hail bouncing off the road in front of him now. He's at Highway 114 outside of Lubbock. looking after this storm as it's continuing to move into his area. Looks like he's looking towards the south, but you can kind of see there some of the hail that is popping up on the roads, some of the wind-driven hail as well. Looks to be kind of below severe limits at this point in time, so I know he's not in the core of the storm. But you can see that bouncing off the road down here on occasion, the wind kind of trying to blow some of the raindrops around his lens as well. But right here on the road, you're able to see some of that popping up and down every now and then. Chris, would you put your camera back on the Tuscan Tower? Yeah. Looking back to the west, we're going to pull this one up. Let's take links 2. If you're in Lubbock right now and you're looking back to the west and southwest, you might be seeing a little bit of what this lowering is. That does not pose a concern for any kind of tornado threat or anything like that at the moment, but it is something that we will be watching. As we could be continuing to see, again, some of these storms turn a bit more supercellular. Kind of what we've been dealing with earlier today, especially down near the sundown area. We had storms move through. They went from high precipitation, meaning they had a lot of rainfall with them, to low precipitation. And that could be something that we see happen with this storm as it moves into Lubbock, because it's moving into a similar environment like those storms did earlier. When we do that, we get a more ragged base, a more rugged base, something that can be a bit more alarming. So we'll be keeping a close eye on this particular camera here this evening as this storm continues to move on off towards the south and east into the city of Lubbock. So, but Chris, that's what we're seeing on this camera right here as well. You see the Whataburger stripes there on the bottom, on the top. You've got a little bit of that scud, or something I like to say an SLC, a scary looking cloud, because you'll see it and a lot of people cry tornado. It doesn't appear that it is to be that.
Our volunteer firefighters over West Carlisle Volunteer Fire Department, they were reporting 3/4-inch hail about a half a mile south of Reese Center. Okay. That was about a minute ago.
Okay, and that storm is just beginning to move into those areas. So, but again, that's what we're talking about with the concern for a lowering. It doesn't appear to be a tornado concern or anything at this point. We're seeing the heavy rain and hail back to our west, seeing some of that dust kind of get kicked out ahead of it with that dust foot, with that rain foot there as well. But back on link system number 1, we'll go to links 1 real quick. You can see where the West Carlisle Fire Department, they're about right here. So notice that hail core just now moving in there. Wolforth, though, it's moving in right now, folks. If you live in Wolforth, hopefully you've had time to get your car into covered parking. You've had time to get it off the road because that storm is definitely moving in right now. But again, we're watching it very closely. So we'll go back out to DG. He's near Research Boulevard in 114, Highway 114, coming back into Lubbock. So he's trying to outrun this right now because that big hail shaft is just behind him. We'll go back to Kyle, who's coming down from the north out of Abernathy right now, trying to beat this storm to Lubbock before it beats him here. And then let's head back out to our photojournalist, Pedro Figueroa. He's still out there looking back over Water Rampage from Milwaukee near the Marshall Sharp Freeway. And he's looking right into the core of this hailstorm that's going to be headed our way. Beginning to get some thunder here at the studio, at KLBK Studio. But again, that's what we're looking at right now. Behind this, though, we do have another severe thunderstorm through Hockley County that's capable of some tennis ball-sized hail. That's continuing to track to the east and southeast.
Actually, I think they lowered the hail on that one to $50.
Okay.
1.25, I'm pretty sure. I may be wrong. Let me double check. Yeah, 1.25.
Okay, so about $50 size hail there in northern portions of Hockley County, which is good news.
Just heads up, if you're in Snyder, actually the storm's moved through Snyder now. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning. It's basically for north eastern Scurry County there. Had a report of golf ball size hail that was observed. So I'm assuming that was when it was moving through Snyder.
Yeah, it looks like the worst went just to the north of Snyder, south of Dermott, right over Brand, but this is going to be headed towards Hud, Harmony, and southeastern portions of Kent County. Jayton, you're going to have to keep a close eye on this storm. Post, looks like you missed this severe thunderstorm just to your south. This is moving to the south and east. Lake Allen Henry, nothing severe for you as of right now, but you're seeing some very, very heavy rainfall starting to pop up in your area. But
the
again,
Weather Service mentioned when this warning goes out here, they may more than likely extend a new warning over. That may include Lake Allen Henry.
Okay. So let's go back. Chris, I'm going to get you to pull up the Overton Hotel camera on link system 2. So when he gets that pulled up on links 2, we'll head over there. Okay, let's head back over to links 2 real quick. So this is a live look there. You can see kind of the edge of that storm. So we're looking due west now. The bulk of the activity is moving through central and southern portions. Will move through central and southern portions of the metro, but we're kind of beginning to see kind of what we're talking about. Not as much of a high precipitation type of setup, but kind of more of a low precipitation setup with these storms, meaning that not as much rain, but we are still seeing the damaging wind threat, and we are still seeing the large hail threat with this activity.
Yeah, this is moving right into Wolforth, the core of the hail.
Right, let's go back to links 1. Okay, and we'll zoom in more street level right now to show you. Chris, you may want to check the batteries on your microphone when you get a chance.
Oh, okay.
But this is just northwest of Wolforth right now. So it's right overhead the farmers market. County Road 7100, FM 179, right in that area. Friendship High School, that's where it's moving over right now, continuing its track to the southeast. This is 82nd Street here.
Give me 1 second and I will pull up the Wolforth camera.
Okay. Mute Chris's mic in the booth really quick so he can change his batteries out if you guys don't mind. Okay, so there it is right now. It's moving over 82nd Street, making its way pretty close to Spur 327. You can see that right here. This extends all the way back up near West Carlisle. This is going to be incoming to areas near Costco, West End Place. It's moving into West End Place right now. Lubbock Christian University, it's moving into your area again, and it looks like the southwest side of town is going to feel the brunt of this hailstorm as it continues its track to the south and east. We'll zoom out real quickly to show the overall kind of track of this, and it looks like it's taking more of a southeasterly jog recently too, but we do have yet another core that's kind of developed just east of Smyer now on the back side of this. So the biggest hail concern going to be in this general area here. And that's continuing to move on off to the south and east, which brings that to the station here at KLBK at around 7:33 p.m. So I'm going to zoom out real quick. But these areas that we have highlighted right here, so Slide Road, south of 50th. If you live west of University and south of 50th, you have the best chance of seeing that very large hail with this storm. It looks like if you live between 82nd Street down to 114th, from Wolforth all the way over to University Avenue, you have the highest chance to see that tennis ball sized hail. So this will include places like HEB, where HEB is located at. Down near where Quaker Ben's, right at 98th, there's a Market Street at the corner there. That's going to have the highest likelihood region of kind of seeing that impacts. This is moving down 82nd Street now, 98th, in between Wolforth and South Lubbock. But again, mainly just that large hail potential. As we take a look at the Barron button, it's still estimating that hail to be over 3 inches in diameter here, just to the north and west of Wolforth. That activity is continuing to move to the east. So Chris, I'm going to let you talk just a little bit because I'm going to have to change out my batteries on my microphone really quick as well. So we'll go back over to link system number 2 because they have quite an active setup down in Scurry County right now.
Yeah, and I apologize, folks. The computer's locked up. I'm letting it do its thing here. But while you're looking at that, we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for Borden and Scurry County. It's for that storm that's north of Gale, and that is basically moving off to the south and to the east. So that's going to take that down toward Fluvanna. That US 84 corridor there from the county line back down to the Brand area and near Snyder.
All right, Chris, thank you so much for that. We're going back out to Kyle's feed, Kyle Allen. He is getting on West Loop 289 right now. We'll take his feed. This is over near West End, and that's where we're starting to see some of the heavy rain. Again, that's where the large hail is expected to be moving in right now. There's still a lot of people out and about this evening. Do not stop on the overpasses. Do not stop underneath those overpasses to shield yourself from the hail. All you're going to do there is kind of make yourself a threat to all those people around you. And again, it's going to put your life and our first responders' lives in danger. That's Kyle's feed getting back on the West Loop 289 right now, going southbound. There's Weston on his right. There's the Chipotle, the Starbucks, the Chick-fil-A that's right out there near the road in front of Costco. You can see right now there's just rain hitting his windshield. That's the good news. But the area that he is driving is to where the core of kind of that severe weather is expected to be, of that large hail potential. As we head out, we'll stick with Kyle for right now. Keep a live look at his view. And do y'all know if that's Chris's mic making that sound, or if that's my microphone making that sound, or if I'm just hearing a sound? Okay, it must be my IFB then. Okay, so we are right now coming up on, this is 114th Marcia Sharp flyover here on West Loop 289. That's the 50th Street exit that he's passing right now, heading southbound back down towards Spur 327. And we're keeping with Kyle's feed right now to see if we can start to see some hailstones. Yeah,
Jacob, we got a couple of hail reports coming in now from the Wolforth area, and
what
the
are the
good
sizes
news is right now it's a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. These two reports so far.
So we've got some.
Well, actually, we have one that just came in $50.
Okay, so we have that severe criteria hail now moving into the Lubbock metro area. We have confirmed reports of that near Wolforth of about 1.25 inches in diameter, about $50 size, a little bit bigger than quarter. That's enough to put some dings in your car. So Kyle's taking the slide exit right now off of West Loop 289 and Spur 327. Still not seeing any hail hitting his windshield, which is good news. But again, folks, the bulk of the hail that we're seeing right now is south of Kyle's location. So we're watching that really close. In the studio in the left band, if we could pull up Pedro's feed, we'll put that in the left band to kind of keep tabs on where he's at right now. So let's go to Pedro's feed real quick. He's still over there near Water Rampage off of Milwaukee, looking back to the west. You can see just some rain falling there on his camera as well, thankfully. No large hail or anything like that being reported. But let's head back over to the link system number 1 for now. We'll show you this hail as it's continuing to move into the southwestern Lubbock metro. Again, the worst part of it is still southwest of the areas that our chasers are in right now. We're wanting them to stay out of the hail, so hopefully they don't have to deal with that. But we are seeing our radar continuing to estimate over 3-inch in diameter sized hailstones are occurring with this storm as it moves into the metro region. We'll pop up our quad panel again really quick to show you all this. But again, this is the storm as it's moving in. We're able to see that hail is continuing to be the big concern, near 3 inches in diameter. That general area there is where we're seeing it. As we zoom in a bit more local, there is a bit of a hook echo on this storm, right in this general area right here, but we're not seeing any kind of correlating things in terms of debris or anything like that. There's a little bit of maybe some broad rotation that is popping up with it, but we're not concerned with any kind of a imminent tornado threat or anything such of that sort with this particular storm, thankfully.
Okay.
So tennis ball sized hail is continuing to be possible with this storm as it's moving into the city of Lubbock right now, moving into Lubbock County. It has now exited Hockley County, but is moving into southwestern portions of the metro. The main core now is moving along 98th Street all the way back up to Spur 327. It's approaching Slide Road, close to 82nd Street, 98th Street. It's back near Frankfurt, Milwaukee Avenues, 114th. It's back near Milwaukee. The latest updates now coming in, continuing to bring that further to the east here this evening. And then the southwest of Wolforth, we have yet another hail core that is popping up just to the south and west of Wolforth as well. And that appears to be where our greatest concern for hail potential is at now. But still around ping pong to golf ball size hail being estimated moving in to the southwest Lubbock metro right now. The current time is now 7:30.
Looks like we got a severe thunderstorm warning for Kent County. Okay, that's going to be for that storm that is down in Scurry County that's moving up, and that's heading right toward Jayton.
Yeah, Jayton, Clearmont, it'll say just southeast of you, but this is the warning Chris is talking about, a new one that has just been issued here by the folks at the National Weather Service for golf ball size hail and some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts there. So heads up Jayton, this will eventually be moving into your area. Have some roughly quarter-sized hail being reported 1 mile east of Wolforth, and just to the north side of Wolforth, we also had some half-dollar sized hail being reported there. Board in Scurry County, you have a new warning that has been issued for you. That's this storm moving out of Garza County, and it is now warned through 8 p.m. For 2.5-inch hail. That's tennis ball size hailstones and some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Good news for Lubbock County now. We are continuing to see those hail sizes come down. The warning has been reduced now. Still large hail, golf ball size hailstones now possible as this activity continues to move into town. Let's go back to Kyle's feed. Looks like he's driving back down towards, he's in Wolforth right now. But here at KLBK, we're starting to hear some stuff hit the roof. Sounds like we've got a couple of hailstones hitting up there on the roof right now. Here at South Loop 289 and University Avenue. So real quickly, let's head back over to link system number 1. We'll show you kind of what we're dealing with. Just a couple of active warnings, mainly over southeastern portions of our viewing area right now.
Good news is that storm that was north of Levelland earlier that was severe, that thing is weakened, and it looks like the warning has expired too.
Yeah, so that one is gone. We've got our severe warning moving into the Lubbock metro area right now, mainly southwestern corner of the metro, experiencing some golf ball size hailstones right now and maybe some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This warning does remain in effect for the next 12 minutes for the city of Lubbock. As we go further south and east, Board and Scurry counties, tennis ball size hail there near Fluvanna moving in, Dermont, Brand, Union, Ara, Knapp, northeast of Gale. You're seeing this activity move into your region right now, 70-mile-per-hour wind gust. And in addition to that, we are seeing those tennis ball size hailstones there. Thankfully, the warning for the city of Lubbock has seen the winds reduced down to only 50-mile-per-hour gust. And then the only other warning that we have right now is down in Kent County. This will be headed up towards Jayton and the Clearmont areas as well. So we're keeping an eye on that for right now across the South Plains. But we will head back to Lubbock really quickly to show you this warning as it's moving in, and that's the reason we've been on the air, is because at one point in time we had 5-inch in diameter size hailstones that were falling out of this thing throughout Hockley County. Thankfully, this is now continuing on its downward trend here in the city of Lubbock. So what we're going to do for our director in the booth is we're going to take one more last scan, and then we're going to toss into programming this evening. But again, we do have the severe thunderstorm warning for Lubbock County. Continuing to see that move into the city of Wolforth right now. A second wave moving into Wolforth. But the southwestern Lubbock metro is getting hit with some golf ball size hailstones and some 40 to 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts right now. As we take a look at our Barron button, again, radar is still estimating over 3-inch in diameter size hail is falling for these areas in white on the screen. Right now, there's not a tornado threat. There's not really a very strong wind threat with this as well. But we are seeing, again, the potential for some large hail to continue with this particular storm.
Yeah, I'm looking at our camera there on the water tower by Friendship High School, and I'm not seeing any hail on the view there.
Yeah, there's not any...
well, I lied. There was a hailstone right there.
As soon as you say it, Chris, you're jinxing us. But it's not covering the ground. It's not shading the ground white. But we are able to see some hailstones on there occasionally. Let's go to link system number 2. We'll pull that up really quick. And Chris, we're looking back over Friendship High School. You can kind of see some of the hailstones popping off the camera view there in Wolforth right now.
They don't look large.
No. There's a couple pinging off here and there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't appear to be anything too significant as of the live view. But you can kind of see those picking up now in frequency with how they're falling off. Let's head out to, I believe this is Pedro's feed. It's on the left BAM here in the studio right now. Let's take that one full screen. You can see some larger size hailstones beginning to kind of pop off of his windshield right now. It looks like to be about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch in diameter. He's in Wolforth right now. You can see that kind of covering the ground now in the sidewalk. Wolforth, you've got that hail moving into your general area too.
Jacob, hail's picking up a good bit on the Wolforth camera there.
Okay, let's go back to the Wolforth cam there on Chris's view.
Yeah, it's picking up.
You see some pretty larger size stones kind of mixing in there, probably about $1 to $1/2 size, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, $1, $1/2, I would guess at most.
Okay.
But it's picked up since we looked at this, what, a minute ago, minute and a half ago?
Yeah, for sure. Let's go back to Pedro's feed real quick, because, folks, this is exactly what we're talking about. You do not need to be doing this. You do not need to be out, parked under the overpasses, parked under the bridges while this hail is moving in, because what you're doing is you're blocking traffic. That traffic is backing up. You're impeding traffic. And if there were to be an accident or first responders needed to get through that to go attend to someone who needed it, they couldn't because you're blocking the roadway. It's irresponsible. You just don't need to be out there under those overpasses blocking those roadways like that.
Jacob, I have some good news. They have now lowered the hail threat to golf ball size hail, so it's coming down in hail size.
And hail about golf ball size is still definitely large enough to be able to do some damage. But thankfully, it's not anywhere near the large size like we were seeing near 5 inches in diameter earlier. If anything, only up to about 2 inches in diameter. So are you still seeing some hail there on the camera out in Wolforth, Chris?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's pop that view back up if you don't mind.
Sorry, I pulled the radar up real quick. Let me go back to the camera here on
once Chris gets out, pulled up on links too. Let's pop back on over to links.
Yeah, we're back on the camera.
But you can still see some of that hail that's popping up. Chris, I'm going to let you talk about it real quick because we're starting to get some bigger dings on the roof here. I'm going to pop out and see if we've got any hail here in the studio.
Just remind you folks, this is our Skyview camera. This is up on top of the water tower there in Wolforth. That's Friendship High School. And you see the hail's picking up here. Based on the view, this looks like it's anywhere from maybe a $1/4, maybe some $1/2 size hail. I will note that the hail core has been weakening a bit. Now keep in mind, earlier northeast of Levelland, when this storm was moving through Hockley County, we had a couple of reports of 5-inch hail and then grapefruit size hail with this storm here, but it's continuing to move off to that south and the east. But the bulk of the hail core right now is going to be moving down toward a Slide and also the Woodrow area. Now while you're looking at that, let me pull the radar back up real quick here as we're on links too. But again, you can see now the core of that storm. And let me pull up the hail tracker there for you. And again, this is our what we call the Barron button. This is our severe weather analyzing button. And you can see the areas of hail there. In fact, we'll do what we call a query, and I'll show you some of the reports now. Now, it's still showing that there may be larger hail above 3 inches in some of these storms here, but you can see anywhere from 2, 1.5, but overall the hail core is coming down with this storm in size. Now, having said that, as we go back to the live camera there in Wolforth, there's still plenty of hail falling there that can do damage.
Yeah, there definitely is, Chris. Thankfully, we're not seeing any of that outside right now here at KLBK, so that is the good news for us. But again, we are still seeing that there out in the Wolforth area currently. Real quickly, we're going to pull up our KLBK view here. But it does still look like we are still seeing some of that large hail on the southwest side of town.
They just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for that storm. Golf ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That's going to be for Lubbock and for Linn County.
Okay, so for Lubbock and Linn County, we'll go back on over to link system number 1. Here's our new warning we have out. And we're able to see through 8:30 p.m. we have that new warning in effect. The National Weather Service is issuing this one for the golf ball sized hailstones and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This is continuing to move southeast at roughly 30 miles per hour. So we'll put a new track on this. This will be moving very close to Wilson, Slayton, Gordon, New Home areas. So let's track this one out. So Slayton moving in about 7:58, Wilson at about 8:03 p.m. Is when we can expect to see that move into our area as well. Let's head on out to our storm chaser in the left, Bam. I believe this is Kyle, because he's on this storm right now. But notice what's going on. That's okay. So this is Pedro Figueroa. Actually, he's out in Wolforth area. But what we're able to see is that there is still some heavier rain falling. Just a couple of scans ago, we were actually able to see some water beginning to pond up there in the ditch. So that's kind of the good news on the side of this storm system that we're dealing with tonight, is that we are seeing some much needed moisture that is moving back into our area as well. We've been dealing with some ongoing drought conditions. Those have been worsening, but thankfully beginning to see some of that moisture move back to the area. Unfortunately, though, coming at the cost of some large hail for some of us this evening. You can definitely see that heavy rain out there this evening, so be safe if you have to be out and about on the roadways. And just remember to not stop under any of those overpasses or any of those bridges as well. Let's head back on over to Links system number 2. That's where Chris has the latest severe thunderstorm warning popped up for Lubbock and Linn counties. It's going to run through 8:30 p.m. Golf ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible here. That's about 1.75 inches in diameter with the hail and about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this activity as it continues to move to the east and southeast. Basically staying right along, if not slightly south of U.S. Highway 84 over the next hours. It continues that southeasterly track across the area. So that rain coming down very, very heavy at times. We definitely want to urge how important it is to be off the roads unless you just absolutely have to be out there right now.
Yeah, we had a public report of golf ball size hail. That was 1 mile west-southwest of Wolforth. That was about 10 minutes ago.
Okay. So it looks like the southwest side of Lubbock is getting the brunt of kind of the large hail event that we've got going on right now. So aside from that warning, Chris, when you have a chance, we'll have you kind of do a quick radar tour across the area to give folks an update. Have we had any more of those wake low high wind gust reports coming in?
I haven't seen any more. The last one we had was from Aiken. That was 77 gust here. But
okay.
As you're looking at the radar right now on television and on our social media channels, and again, this is the one storm that is over the metro Lubbock area. That'll be moving down into Linn County there around the Wilson area, heading towards Slayton as well. But the other thunderstorms, notice the one that was up here in Hockley County. It's weakened, but we'll keep an eye on it. And then as we go down to the south and east, we've got quite a cluster of strong to severe thunderstorms. We have this storm cluster that is near Lake Allen Henry up to Claremont. The good news is the storms that are over the lake right now back over toward Claremont are not severe, but the storm that is moving basically to the south of Jayden will continue to move off to the northeast, and this storm is capable of quarter-size hail. In fact, Weather Service saying that storm in Kent County capable of quarter-size hail. There's another storm over in Stonewall County that's out of our area. That's in the Abilene television market, so we'll let our colleagues at KTAB and KRBC kind of handle that one. And then back down into Borden County and Scurry County, we have this storm that is near Fluvanna that is moving off to the south and to the east. Earlier, that storm was capable of producing, I believe it was one golf ball size hail in Scurry County. And again, that warning is until 7:45. Actually, that may be the other storm there. But that storm also continuing to move down into the area. Still getting several reports now of hail 1 mile east of Wolforth, this was at 7:40. That was 5 minutes ago. Report of penny-sized hail. That's just below severe limits. 3 miles east of Wolforth, we had a public report also at 7:40. That was 6 minutes ago of 1 inch hail.
Yeah, and that was just south of 98th Street where that was reported.
And while we're looking at the radar, let me zoom out and show you what's going on around the region here again. We've got our cluster of storms that's basically over the rolling plains right now. We have our isolated severe storm that is in the southern Lubbock metro area. We have that tiny little storm up there near Anton. It's behaving right now. What we're going to keep an eye on, and I'm moving the radar up, and I'm going to put the Amarillo radar on. We'll keep an eye on this activity up here in northeastern New Mexico and in the Texas Panhandle, because Jacob did show us some forecast model data earlier suggesting that stuff may move in late this evening and overnight, something I'll be dealing with when I come in the morning here for our area there. But that's the view right now. Let me come back to the local Lubbock radar and we'll zoom back out here. And again, these are the storms that are continuing to move down through our area.
Yeah, so that's what we're keeping a very close eye on right now. Thank you for that, Chris. And we'll go on over to link system number 1 real quick, and we'll kind of show you. And just a note for our director in the booth, at 8 o'clock, we're going to cut our coverage here over the air, and we will be providing updates for the rest of the evening through social media, on Facebook and on X, and in the Everything Lubbock Weather app. You can check the latest updates there as well. But let's take a look at what our future forecast models are showing this evening. So not doing the best of job, honestly, showing what's going on out there right now. But as we go forward in time, it shows kind of an overall decreasing pattern. By 10, 11 o'clock, looks like most of the activity is done with. But as we head overnight, there's one initial wave, some activity that could move in close to midnight, 1 a.m. over the northeastern South Plains. But then by tomorrow morning, around the 4, 5, 6 a.m. time frame, we could be dealing with another line of strong to severe storms moving in over the northeastern South Plains. So about 12 hours from now, we could still be dealing with some of that severe activity. But again, back on link system number 2, we're able to see kind of what radar is looking like right now. And we'll put that back on. So take a mental image of what it looks like right now on links 2. Go back to link system number 1. This is what our forecast model is showing, and notice it's really not doing a good job at all as to what's popping up out there. So that's why it makes it a little difficult for us whenever we are trying to determine what's going on the rest of the evening, the overnight hours into tomorrow morning, as to what exactly we can continue to expect. But back on links 2 real quick, we'll pop there. This is what our active radar is looking like across the South Plains right now for the KLBK viewing area. The city of Lubbock just south and west of Woodrow, north of New Home, is the biggest hail core that we have that we're dealing with right now across our viewing area. Just to kind of recap where we were earlier today, though, 5-inch in diameter sized hail came out of this storm out in Hockley County. That's whenever we came on to give you all an update. We've been on air now for over an hour tracking the strong storm as it's moved through the metro region. But right now, that area in white popping up, that's where we have the highest likelihood to be seeing at or above 3-inch in diameter size hail.
It looks like it's increasing again.
Yeah, the overall general spatial area looks like it is increasing slightly. Once again, I'm checking at my home in South Lubbock, and we have some larger hail that's falling there right now. Looks like it could be up to about quarter-sized. I can see some of the larger sized hailstones in my yard now, so I'm glad it's car is in the garage. So still seeing some of that large hail in South Lubbock right now too. But again, that's the storm we're looking at on link system number 2 that we're dealing with right now. Back to our south and east in Garza, down to Borden and Scurry counties. That's our other severe thunderstorm warning we have. This one is warned for tennis ball size hailstones and up to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Go ahead and click in that box, Chris, so that way we can just indicate which storm exactly we're talking about. But here in northeastern portions of Borden, northwestern Scurry County, and then back in southeastern Kent County, right now dealing with that severe storm. This is moving in close to the Jayton area as well. But let's go back out to Pedro Figueroa's live feed right now. He is our photojournalist, and take a look at what's going on. That's some street flooding that we have happening in and across portions of the metro, as we are seeing some locally heavy rainfall out of this event. So you can see there some of the dirt getting washed off the road, seeing some ponding on the sides of the streets and everything with this storm as it is moving through right now. But again, looks like he's on the south side of the Lubbock metro area as we speak. Checking some of the mesonet sites really quickly to see how much rainfall we've had picked up. Out in Smyer, about 1/2 inch of rain there, 1/2 inch out in Tahoka. Not a lot in the metro area. Out at LCU with the mesonet site, they're only 0.12 of an inch. Down at the Grand mesonet site, though, southwestern Garza County, they've picked up 0.7 of an inch of rainfall. But our big winner, Flowmont here, northwestern portions of Motley County, have received 0.9 of an inch of rainfall. Look at that rainbow popping up here as we wrap up the severe storm in the Lubbock metro area. Nice view there on our live feed out and about in town. This is a live look in Tahoka right now at what's going on there. They had some large hail confirmed earlier this evening, but again, radar shows Tahoka, Lynn County, you're in the clear. Northeastern Lynn County, though, you are under that severe thunderstorm warning for some of the larger hail and some gusty winds there that will be moving in. Well, let's head back over to link system number 1. All of the counties that you see shaded in yellow remain under a tornado watch through 9 p.m. tonight. We have it specifically there on Cochran County, but Lubbock County, you're included as well. Here for Curry and Roosevelt counties in eastern New Mexico through 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Central Time, you're included in a severe thunderstorm watch. And then Gaines County over to Scurry County through 9 p.m. tonight, you're under a severe thunderstorm watch as well. Chris, it sounds like we've got some hail now falling here at KLBK. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I definitely do.
So I'm going to pop out really quick. Let's go back to link system number 2, and I'm going to see if we can see any of the hail that is popping up here at the station. We'll let Chris talk about radar for a quick second.
Yeah, here's a look at the metro area radar, and notice we've got this band of heavier rain, probably some hail that's kind of filled back in here. LCU back over toward the downtown area, right around the TV station, and then the heavier core of the storm is down here across the south end of the county, Sly, Woodrow, Union, and again right along the county line here. This is moving off to the south and to the east here, and again this will continue to work its way down toward Wilson area, Grassland, these communities. Actually, Grassland may be just out, yeah, they're just outside of the area there. But this is the storm that's moving through the Lubbock metro area. The good news is the hail sizes have been coming down. Also, the hail reports. Last report I had was at 7:40. That was about a mile east of Wolforth. There was a report of 3/4 inch hail. That's 0.75 inches in diameter. Keep in mind, a 1 inch or larger is the criteria for severe hail in the area. Let's go back down to the south and to the east here. We have these storms that are in Kent County, also storms that are in Garza, in portions of Borden and Scurry County here. Yeah, it's storming at Lake Allen Henry. There's probably some hail, but at the moment, these storms are not severe there. But there is this severe storm that is working its way between Gale and Snyder. It's moving off to the south and to the east here. So again, that storm will be capable of maybe up to golf ball size hail and wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. And then we have this area of storms that is moving to the north here into portions of Kent County. Notice the warning polygon does not include Jayton proper itself, but it's moving in that direction. So just be advised, there could be 1 inch hail and wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. I'll zoom back out. So again, we're down to this cluster of thunderstorms that's over the Rolling Plains area. We have our storm in the Lubbock metro area here as well, and we've got a dying storm still holding on there between Anton and Shallow Water up there along 84, but it's below, definitely below severe limits at this time.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for that, Chris. And we are continuing to hear the rain fall on our rooftop here at KLBK. But thankfully, when I was outside, we only had maybe some pea-sized to some half-inch in diameter sized hail. But over on link system number 1, we're pretty zoomed in here on our camera view. So you can actually see the raindrops and some of the hailstones that are falling here just above our TV station. As we look at our Overton West, you can see the sun's coming out. We got the sunshine coming out here as we see the storm kind of wrap up. More blue sky back to the west of the metro. In Olton right now, things looking pretty quiet there. Still seeing some of those gusty winds, though. After that storm moved through earlier today, we haven't seen really much in the way of additional rain there. In shallow water right now, showing you some pretty quiet conditions, although it is a little windy. Tahoka, dark sky back to your south and east, but your severe threat is done. This is actually back to the north and east. We are continuing to see.
Yeah, that's looking, I think, to our storm to the north.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
So that severe warning there, but this severe warning will not impact Tahoka, Levelland. The sun setting there on what was an active evening for you. But again, we are continuing that warning here for portions of Lubbock County, Lynn County through 8:30 tonight. It is about 7:56. At 8 o'clock, we will go back into your regularly scheduled programming, but you can utilize the KLBK First Warning Weather app. It is free in the Google Play and the App Store to track these storms as they continue to move through this evening. We will be in studio. I'm going to let Chris go home and get some rest because he's got to be back up here tomorrow morning for the morning show. So I'll hold down the fort. One-man band in it for the rest of the evening, but we'll keep you covered here on KLBK.
Yeah, my bedtime was 4 hours ago, so.
We appreciate your sacrifice, Mr. Whited.
You do what you have to do during severe
Yes,
weather.
you do, because we're going to be here to keep you updated through the storms as they keep on rolling through the region. But as of right now, things are